You've probably noticed that some of the greatest players in history are black, especially in Brazil. But did you know there was a time when they were banned from playing professional football? In fact, professional football in Brazil was very different in the beginning, and we're going to talk a little about that now. So leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about Brazilian football and how it became the best in the world. In no way are we promoting hate against the clubs mentioned here. We are simply presenting historical facts that do not reflect the reality of these teams today. Professionalism in football did not take root in any South American country except Brazil, largely because other countries lacked the money, organization, or both. In Brazil, like in Argentina and Uruguay, professionalism grew out of a class struggle. Players from poor backgrounds fought against the wealthy elites who controlled the leagues and clubs for better pay and conditions. However, in Brazil, this struggle was even deeper because of racial divisions. Brazil had the largest population of African descent in the Americas and had only abolished slavery in 1889. Racism and inequality were everywhere. Freed black peasants remained poor and landless, and those who moved to cities ended up at the bottom of society. Meanwhile, the white aristocracy feared both uprisings in the countryside and racial mixing in their families. To them, playing football alongside black players was humiliating. In the 1930s, journalist Mario Filho recounted the story of Carlos Alberto, a mixed-race player for America's reserve team. After transferring to Fluminense in 1916, he was seen furiously applying rice powder to his face to lighten his skin before a game. America fans mocked him by yelling, "Pó de arroz," rice powder, an insult still used against Fluminense until the crowd turned at him proud before games. When America later signed a talented black player named Manteiga, 9 players quit the team in protest. Even though black and mixed-race players were starting to play regularly in São Paulo's and Rio's leagues, the president of Brazil refused to let black players join the national team for the 1921 Copa America. Everything changed in 1923 when Vasco da Gama won the Carioca Championship with 4 black players. Until then, only white teams had won it. Vasco, founded by Portuguese immigrants, had a membership made up mostly of small business owners. Unlike Fluminense or Flamengo, Vasco's members didn't have much free time and lived closer to Rio's poorer communities, so they had no issue recruiting black players. After winning the second division in 1922, Vasco took the Carioca title the next year. The elite clubs, feeling threatened, withdrew from the league and started their own, accusing Vasco of bringing professionalism and corruption. In response, Vasco began building the Estádio de São Januário, the largest stadium in Brazil until the Maracanã was built. Crowds loved Vasco's exciting team, and eventually Flamengo, Fluminense, and Botafogo were forced to rejoin them in 1926. Still, the elite tried to limit poor players. They required detailed registration forms and created commissions to investigate players' finances. Vasco countered by teaching their players basic literacy and giving them fake jobs in club members' businesses. In São Paulo, professionalism was less controversial. The city's elites were merchants rather than aristocrats and were more accepting of market relations. However, São Paulo was much wider than Rio. Clubs like Corinthians and Santos had a working-class character, but few black players. Therefore, the elite could tolerate professionalism without facing racial issues. As in Argentina, the trend toward professionalism in Brazil grew. As players started moving abroad, Italian clubs, especially Lazio, recruited many white Brazilians in the 1920s and 1930s. Some Brazilians also went to Argentina. Black players from Rio tried their luck in Europe too. For instance, after Vasco's European tour in 1930, players like Fausto and Jaguaré stayed in Barcelona. In 1932, Oscar da Costa, president of America, publicly admitted that his club paid players and called for full professionalism. The Paulista and Carioca leagues officially turned professional in 1933, soon followed by Minas Gerais, Rio Grande do Sul, and Paraná. This opened a crucial escape route for young black and mixed-race men. In São Paulo's first professional match in 1933, São Paulo FC beat Santos 5-1, with Arthur Friedenreich, then 38 years old, scoring Friedenreich, the son of a German father and a black Brazilian mother, had been Brazil's top striker in the 1920s. His lighter skin had allowed him to stay on the national team when black players faced discrimination, but he was always self-conscious about his curly hair. Scoring again at the start of the professional era, Friedenreich perhaps finally played free of shame.